Hey, my name is Plitt with Icon Men. We're here in Palm Springs, California. We're going to run you through an arm and ab workout. Let's get it on. Fitness. How did I get started into fitness? My grandfather was pro in 2 sports. My dad was a big athlete, almost drafted to the Mets. So as soon as I was born, I either had a ball or a stick in my hand. So, you know, sports and athletics were always a part of my life. At an early age, you know, when you, in between grades in grade school, you have that summer reading list you have to do. Well, I was always outside playing ball, and reading wasn't a big love for me, so I kind of put it off, procrastinated a lot. I remember vividly my dad coming home one day, and he's like, "How's that summer reading going?" I go, "You know, it's not going so well. I'm too busy playing ball and stuff." He's like, "No, you need to start focusing on schoolwork more and start reading some more." I kind of told him I didn't really want to do that, so he goes, "All right, here's your options. You can choose one or the other. You can either read for half an hour a day, or you can go out to the pool, swim 50 laps, do 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups. Either one. But you make a choice." So in defiance, I go, "You know what? I think I'm going to hit the laps, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups." I started doing that for a week or two. And sure enough, my dad's like, "All right, this isn't working." So he ups the ante. He makes it 200 laps or whatever the numbers are. So I'm out there for like an hour and a half, as opposed to reading for half an hour. But by doing that, I noticed, you know, I was a little quicker when I was playing ball. I was a little stronger. I started seeing some results at an early age. And I found the love for fitness were the attributes that coincide with working out hard the way I felt, and then the physical performance I had on the field. So I fell in love with it from day one. Now my dad and I, we kind of came to an agreement. I started reading, and you know, schoolwork was always number one for me, but working out, I was hooked right then. Growing up, a lot of people ask me about my background and growing up, and it all boils down to my parents and my sister. We probably, of all the families I've seen, I would never want to be a part of any other one but the family I'm part of. My parents are my best friends, my biggest fans, my coach, the ones that kicked my ass when I was in trouble, that gave me a hug when I needed it. They always followed in my shadows when I dared to walk out on that limb of life and take a chance at it. They always had my back. They told me when I screwed up. They complimented me when I did good. They were just the overall balance. I can only hope to be half the parent to my kids later in life than my parents were to me. When people find out I went to the United States Military Academy, West Point, people are like, "How'd that happen? What made you decide to do that?" Finishing up high school, was doing really well in sports. I was a state champion, All-American wrestler. Played football and golf, had a 4 handicap, so probably not now. Got a hole in one. I got a lot of attention from colleges for wrestling scholarships and stuff. A lot of people ask me, how does one go from an Army Ranger to a fitness model? And how does that transition happen? Well, for me it happened in a pretty weird way. I just got back from overseas. I had a year or so left in my 5-year commitment from West Point, and I was stationed in D.C., Washington, D.C. I was staying at a Marriott hotel with a couple friends from overseas that we worked with, and you know, just having a night out in the town. It happened to be the same hotel that a big model convention was going down the next day. So all these agents were coming in that night. I'm sitting around the lobby bar with a couple of friends, you know, telling stories, when this agent approaches me saying, "Are you here for the convention?" or whatever. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Well, hey, can you come up to my room and get some pictures?" And I said, "That's probably not a good idea, no thanks." But I got his information. Before long, I was up in New York doing some fitness shots. Not even maybe a month or two later, I started landing covers, and I said to myself, you know, I love working out. If I can get paid and make a career out of this, what better life would that be? Okay, let's talk about the gym. This is a fitness DVD. Let's get the meat and potatoes out of the way. What is the gym all about? The gym is where you go to transform your body. Alright, the equation to the ideal body in your mind comes in 4 facets. 1 is your training in the gym, your weightlifting. 2 is your cardio, your aerobic conditioning. 3 is your supplements, your diet, what you're taking in for nutrition. And 4 is your rest, how much sleep you're getting, how much time off in between workouts. All 4 of them carry the same weight, 25 each way, to make up that final end state ideal figure you want. You can't just lift and don't do cardio. You can't lift and lift and lift without the rest. You need to feed the body after you tear it apart. So let's talk about nutrition, for example. Supplements. Everyone's like, what supplements do I use? What do I use here? Well, I'm a firm believer that the greatest supplement you can ever use is your own natural intensity. You go in there, you mind over matter it, and you get in there and you get focused and you get pissed. You get underneath that weight and you throw it up. A lot of times, using supplements, people have a mental edge. They're like, okay, I just took these pills or this liquid or this powder or something. I have this element inside of me, so I should be stronger. I mean, they take the pill for the first time an hour before they go to the gym. It doesn't even take effect if you read the directions till the next day, but because they think they have it in them, they can lift the weight and they're getting a better workout because mentally they think they're stronger. So supplements help you get that mental edge, but honestly, I found all supplements, and I've tried almost everything you can get off the counter, that your body becomes immune to them very quickly. One thing, though, you must have is protein. That is the building block for all strength gains. And the common formula is if you weigh 185 pounds, you need 185 grams of protein a day. So 1 pound per every gram a day. That's to maintain, I think. I think you should well exceed that. I weigh 190 pounds. I'll get anywhere from 250 to 300 grams a day. Now, how do I get that? You can't get that all from natural foods, from chicken and fish and white meats and milk. You need to take protein shakes. So I take a protein shake in the morning, I take one before I go to bed, and I load up each shake so it's a good 100 grams each way. And then I get anywhere from 50 to 100 grams of natural protein during the day through chicken breast or tuna fish, any kind of high protein, low carb, low fat meal. Carbs, low carbs. Now, there's good carbs and bad carbs. The easiest way to describe it is if you put some carbs on a plate and you pour water on it, like bread, and the bread expands, that's a bad carb. You put like nuts on a plate and you pour water on it and the nuts don't expand, that's a good carb. Fat, greasy foods, get rid of them. They're not going to do anything good for you. They're good fats, like the fats found in salmon, for example. You can do your own research, find out what you like and what not, but drinking water, tons of water every day is crucial. It's all your body needs. Why throw in all that sugar and soda and everything else? You don't need it. 90% of the workout is just showing up. Just like in life, 90% of anything you do, the difference rests in just showing up. The hardest part about training and working out is going from point A to point B, that transformation. But once you're at B, it's very easy to maintain that with the proper nutrition. Also, the love of how you look is going to keep you motivated. And if you put it on a balance scale of life, where you have that Snickers bar, that candy bar, you know, that temporary satisfaction on how good that's going to taste, you know, and then on the other side is the detriment it's going to do to your body and your physique, you know. So all of a sudden that candy bar loses a little bit of its luster, you know, even though it tastes good and it's going to satisfy this temporary satisfaction that you're craving. On the flip end of it, you know what it's going to do to your body. You know how hard you worked your body to get yourself in the shape you're in. Do you want to give that up for the taste of a candy bar? No, I don't think so. As soon as you start feeling that difference, where you start losing the desire to eat something not good for you because of the back end effects it's going to have on your body, now you know you're making good results in the gym because they're valuable to you now. You don't want to give them up. Steroids I've never used. In the military we had drug tests every other week. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't. But there's more to it than just that. I think if you're using steroids, you're cheating your system. Going from A to B in a physical stature, there's more than just the physical attributes to that growth. There's a lot of mental conditioning and mental confidence that comes with that transformation. And I think if you use steroids or something like that, you skip over that part. You don't really get the full benefit. And honestly, mental confidence in anybody, no matter what endeavor you're doing in life, is the greatest attribute anyone can personally have. Straight arm tricep extensions. Triceps are made up of 3 heads. You got the long head, the medial head, and the lateral head. This exercise here works all 3 of them, so it's a good one to start off with. But form is important. If you cheat yourself, you're cheating the exercise and you're wasting your time. When you do this exercise, you're going to pull the weight down and lock your elbows into the side. And once they're locked in, they don't move. They stay there throughout the whole range of the motion. Looks something like this. What you don't want to do is let your elbows flare and start using momentum in your workout like this. You're letting your elbows come up and you're bringing them back down. You're causing momentum swing there, and you're taking the effort off your triceps more into your back. You're here to work triceps, work the triceps. Keeping your elbows locked in. Also at your hips, keep your hips steady. Don't do any of this stuff. Start rolling your back into it. It doesn't work. In order to develop the whole tricep, get that whole horseshoe effect, you got to hit exercises in the beginning that work the mass. Hit all 3 heads in conjunction with each other. Afterwards, then you want to start isolating each head. To the medial head, the lateral head, to the long head. Here's a variation of the straight bar press downs that hits the medial head. The only change in it is that instead of having an overhand grip, we're going to have an underhand grip. The medial head is the outside portion right here at the bottom of the tricep on the left side. So having an overhand grip, a lot of weight's going to be on these 2 fingers, just so you know. But it's the same motion. You bring your elbows down, you lock them in, and you extend it. You might want to stick your ass out a little bit here, give you a little more room to move. Same thing though, you want to keep your elbows in tight. Don't let them flare up and get that momentum working. You're just taking away from your targeted muscle group. A variation of that to isolate it even further is to do a one-hand reverse tricep extension. It's the same motion. Gotta lighten the weight a little bit. Same motion, reverse grip. You're gonna bring your elbow down, you're gonna lock it in, and then you're gonna extend out. You're kind of seated to the left or the right, depending what arm you're using, of the rack, the weight. Once again, that works the medial head of the tricep. Another member of the vast family tree of tricep press downs is the V-bar press down. Hits all three heads, but it targets the lateral head the most. We're going to get into now is the lateral head of tricep. The lateral head is the portion that comes down on the right side of the arm. Same kind of form of exercise, but we're going to do it with the rope this time. There's three different ways to vary it at the end to get the maximum effect. We'll go into that later. But again, form's key. Your elbows are locked into the side. It goes something like this. Once your elbows are locked in, you can bring it straight down. It's variation one. More advanced is to come straight down and rotate your wrist out. And the most advanced and most effective is to bring it down and spread the rope on your legs. So when doing a set, it's best to start spreading the rope, then go to rotating your wrist, then go straight down. The reason why, you're going from the hardest to lightest. And as you go into your set, you can get weaker and weaker. It looks something like this. As I start getting weaker, I'll start rotating it. Just rotating the wrists. Then when I get to total exhaustion, I still want to work it more. I'll just bring it straight down. This exercise is called the overhead tricep extension with rope. We've talked about before the three heads of the tricep, the medial, lateral, and the long head. This one works the long head. Anytime your elbow is above your head, you're stretching the long head of your tricep, which is the biggest portion of the tricep. So anytime you stretch it over your head, you're working it. There's a variety of ones we're going to go into. Here's the first one. You're going to grab the rope, the neutral grip. You're going to swing underneath of it. Lean out. Good stagger position. Elbows locked by your side. Elbows in too. You don't want your elbows to flare out too much. But as you come up, you're going to rotate your wrist forward and bring it back down. Our next exercise is a tricep kickback. Often you see it being done with a dumbbell. I like it with a cable better because there's a constant resistance load throughout the motion of the exercise. Gravity doesn't play effect in it. Again, form's imperative. Your stance, it's kind of like a football stance, but your back's straight, your legs are bent, your elbow's going to come to your side and lock in there. And then that's where it stays the whole motion. Take it straight back to your arms extended and locked, then bring it back forward. Keeping your elbow locked in your side, not allowing it to travel forward. Lock it in. Again, I like this because even right here, our triceps activated, whereas with the dumbbell, it wouldn't be activated. switch arms. Again, what you want to avoid is this motion where your elbow moves from its locked position. You don't want to be swinging like this. You're not doing your tricep any justice. Just lock it in. This exercise is called the skull crusher. It's a tricep exercise that works all three heads of the tricep. There are many different ways to do it. A lot of people will do it with an easy curl bar, dumbbells, but I like to do it with the cable because the cable gives you constant resistance throughout the range of the motion. Select your weight, you grab a straight bar or an easy curl bar, whatever your preference is. You're going to lock out and come back down. The two ways to do skull crushers, depending on what heads you want to hit. Hit the medial and lateral heads. You're going to keep the bar in front of you at all times. You're going to bring it down to your forehead and bring it up above your forehead and keep it in that plane throughout the whole range of motion. This is going to work the medial and lateral heads of the tricep to build mass. To work the long head of the tricep, you're simply going to rotate the bar above your head. That's going to be your end position. Your start position is in front of your head, and you keep it in that plane. This is going to work the long head of tricep. Tricep skull crushers. It's a great mass builder. This tricep exercise is called the French press. It's an overhead press that is going to work the long head of the tricep. It goes like this. So you want to keep your elbows tight together. What you don't want to do is have them flare out. Keep them in. From the back, it looks like. Another variation of this is to do it with one hand at a time. Same motion. Working the long head of each arm. Switch it up. That's the tricep French press. We're going to continue the tricep workout with the ever so famous dip machine. I like to incorporate the dips in my tricep workout towards the end of the workout with just body weight, good form, high reps. Two ways to do it. When you pop up, you want to keep your body straight and rigid. The correct way is come straight down, straight back up. That's going to isolate the triceps. When you start swinging your shoulders forward like this, and in an arch motion, you're working more chest. Now what we're looking to do here, just triceps. Straight down, straight back up. If you have to, put your knees in front of you. It's going to help balance your weight. A lot harder though. You want to lock it out, break 90 degrees on the way down. Another great tricep exercise is a bench dip, and it encompasses all three heads of the tricep, your long, your medial, and your lateral head. You can do it with weight or without weight. Basically, you're going to take about a shoulder width grip on a bench here. Hands locked out, feet straight in front of you. From here, you're going to go down to a 90-degree position on your elbow and then back up. Tricep bench dips. Good one to end on. Standing dumbbell alternating curls. The beauty of this lift is that you're able to do both functions of the bicep. The bicep is to lift the arm plus to rotate the wrist. When you use a straight bar or an easy curl bar, you cannot rotate the wrist at all. It's just straight lifting the bar. Dumbbell, alternating curls, you can do both. And the great thing about it is that if you look at your bicep, and if you rotate it, you hit all the heads of the bicep. Unable to do it with a straight bar and easy curl bar. Here we can do it. You start with a neutral grip, both hands. As you bring it up, you slowly turn it all the way in, hitting all the heads of the bicep. Do one arm at a time. You can do both arms if you want at the same time. I get more out of it doing one at a time though. Because we're standing up, there's a lot of movement in this lift, just for the nature that you're on your feet. If you want to isolate this lift even more, you can do it seated, which takes that movement out of the picture. Dumbbell, bicep, alternating curls, seated or standing, whatever your preference may be. Okay, we'll get into the standing bicep curl. Now there's a couple of things we have to talk about first. One, the bar we use. The two types of bars. One's a straight bar, which we have here. The other one's called an easy curl bar. Curls, easy enough. So each one's different, works different muscle groups. Basically in your bicep you have a short head and a long head. When your grip is a neutral grip, like a straight bar, it's going to work both heads equally. An easy curl bar, because it's rotated in, it's going to work the short head, the inside, more so than the outside. The other thing we need to talk about is the hand placement. Consider your shoulder width on the bar. Anything inside of shoulder width is going to work the outside muscle of the bicep. Anything outside of shoulder width is going to work the inside. So depending on what your aim is what you should target. Obviously, if you're doing preacher curls, you want to do an inside grip, and then if you do standing curls later, do an outside grip. So keep varying, keep the variety up. Don't do the same. Don't go inside, 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 inside throughout your bicep workout. You need to keep switching it up. Otherwise, you're going to grow an inside muscle, not an outside muscle. Anyway, for this one here, we're going to go an inside grip. We're going to work the outer muscle with an easy curl bar. It's imperative here that when we start, our hands are locked out. You see a lot of people when they come down, they'll stop it right here. Well, that's not working the whole muscle. Now we are. Bring it up, bring it back down. What else do you see a lot? You see a lot of this back motion. What you're doing is you're cheating your biceps. You're working your back. You're also going to cause injury. You're taking away from the growth of your muscle. It makes no sense to do that. Just get a lighter weight. This is a mass builder, so you're going to go a little bit heavier. Probably your rep range is between 12 your first rep, first set down to about maybe 6 on your last set. Standing bicep curl. This next bicep exercise is called a floor curl. It's one of my favorite exercises. It works the outer head of the bicep, but the real beauty of it is that you're laying on the floor and you take out any possibility of cheating. Your back's stable, your hips are stable. You can't cheat this exercise. All you can do is just explode the bicep. It's a mass builder. It's a great one to do. You get a little dirty on the floor, but it's a small sacrifice for what you're going to get in on the back end. To set this up, we're going to pull the pulley mechanism down to the very bottom, lock it in. We're going to put a straight bar on. You can use a T-bar, whatever you want. I'm going with the straight bar this time. Your feet go 1 and 1 on the poles next to the pulley mechanism. Now we're ready to start. Great thing about this exercise, there's no way you can cheat it. Your biceps have to do all the work. The only thing to watch out for is your elbow placement. When you come up, keep your elbows down. Avoid bringing your elbows up. That's just putting more stress on your shoulders and taking them off your biceps. Just keep your elbows down. Bicep floor curls, my favorite by far. Give them a shot. What we're doing now is an incline dumbbell alternating curl. The beautiful thing about this is the fact that in the position we're in right now, it stretches your arm out, stretching your bicep out to a full range motion here. Far too often you see people that make a bicep and they have this huge gap in between their elbow and the start of their bicep. The reason for that is because when they come down to a curl, they stop, they don't fully extend. This exercise here forces you to fully extend, use the full range of the bicep. We're doing alternating, meaning we're doing the right arm, then the left arm, or you can do them together if you want. It's up to you, it's personal preference. But you're gonna start here with a neutral grip, like a hammer grip, and as you bring the arm up, you're gonna turn it in, rotating the bicep all the way around, both arms. Get a real deep stretch as that arm comes back down. Incline dumbbell alternating curl, more of a mass builder. Hits both heads, the long and the short head of your bicep, especially the development in the smaller portion of your bicep. This exercise is called straight bar preacher curl. There's a lot of preacher curl machines out there. Some are free weight, some are dumbbells, some are machines. They all hit the bicep in a different area. The straight bar here is going to hit both short head and long head of the bicep together, as opposed to an easy curl bar. It's going to hit more of the short head, the inside one. Depending on our grip placement, as we talked about before, we can hit either inside or outside. It's your preference. Just keep changing it up as we go. The major difference between preacher curls with free weight as opposed to machine weight is that with free weight, when we bring that bar all the way up here, we are no longer activating our biceps to hold this weight. Gravity is coming straight down on it. Our biceps are not curling anymore. So the advantage to the machine weight is that it's a constant resistance throughout the motion. So keep switching it up, go back and forth. But for now, straight bar, preacher curl. You're going to grab the thing about shoulder width as we have right here. Now it's your choice if you want to go inside to work the outer edge of your biceps, or outside here to work the inner edge. Just keep changing it up. Don't do the same thing with everything you do. Fully extend. Don't hyperextend it on your elbow. Take it down with control each time. You own the weight. So you come down, bring it up. Again, you're sinking your shoulders, your armpits into the pads here. You don't want to rock them up and then switch them back. You see people in the gym that you see the weight coming down, they come up with it, and then they try to get the weight, and they go, that's momentum, that's not lifting. That's doing nothing for your bicep. Don't do that. Pick the right weight, the right rep count, feel a good burn, make progress. Be sure that when you're doing these, you lower the weight, you're in control the whole time. You let the weight go and just let it drop, you're gonna hyperextend your elbow. It makes for a really bad day. Also, the sooner you start lifting with right form and start worrying about the form of your lift and not the weight of what you're lifting, the quicker you can get results in the gym. Hammer curls. Probably the best arm curl for your forearms and your brachialis muscles. It also works your long head in a way, but the primary muscles are your brachialis and your forearms. Now a lot of people when they do these, they're going to bring their arm straight up to their shoulder. I tend to think that's a waste of time. I think it's more effective to bring the arm into the chest and back down. You're going to do one arm at a time. Doing them together like this puts in a little bit too much of a wave with your body. It's a little more stable when you do one at a time and really focus on it. So alternating hammer curls. Probably better to do them towards the end so you still have good grip strength throughout your bicep workout. Hammer curls. What we're about to do is a high pulley bicep curl. It's a finishing movement you use at the end of your workout for biceps that helps bring the height or the peak of your bicep out. It's just like doing a front double bicep, but now you're doing like an exercise motion with it. You're going to use a lighter weight than normal. Forms everything on this one. It's a shaper exercise, so you're doing higher reps. It's not a mass builder. It's just a shaper high peak builder. When you do it, you want to keep your elbows to your outside. You don't want your elbows to creep in. Keep them on the outside, keep your chest out. And when you bring in when you're curling in, keep your elbows in alignment. What I'm saying, don't let them come up and don't let them come out. You're going to want to as you get tired and fatigued. Your back's going to want to jump in there and help it out, but try not to. And once again, this works the height of the biceps, giving you that high peak. Make sure your range of motion goes all the way out like this. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a shorter head bicep. One of the best shapers for biceps that you do at the end of your workout is a concentration curl. Now, everyone says concentration curl. They picture somebody sitting down like this with a dumbbell, the elbow in their kneecap, and they're going like this. I prefer not to go this way. There's too many ways to cheat this exercise, especially when you start getting tired and you start like pivoting off your elbow, or you start pushing your elbow in to get that momentum. It's also not quite a dead hang. A better version of it is to grab the weight and go straight from a dead hang. Your right hand, your opposite hand is on your kneecap, and you're sitting down like this. You're gonna bring your arm straight up to your chest and straight back down. You have to be careful though also. There's a lot of ways to cheat this one. The two predominant ones is that when you bring it down, you build momentum up. So you don't want to do that. That's taken away from what you're trying to do. The other one is that you're going to use your back here. Instead of bringing it up in a linear plane, you're going to bring it up and bring your elbow in too. That's going to take your back into account here and take it away from your bicep. So really stay focused. Pick the right weight. You want to get a good high rep here, about 15 reps towards the end of your workout here. Really bring it up, hold it for a second, bring it back down. You're in control the whole time with this motion here. You do about 15, and you switch hands, hit the other hand. It's a great finisher. It really brings the height of the bicep out. Bicep concentration curls. This exercise is a bicep workout. It's a combination between a preacher curl and a concentration curl that emphasizes the stress on the peak of the bicep. This exercise you want to do at the end of your workout. You want to use high reps, proper form, lightweight, using the edge here of an incline bench. You're going to do one hand at a time. You're going to sink your elbow deep into here. Reason being, if you start coming down, your elbow starts coming up right here, you're cheating yourself because you're going to use that momentum to come back. Lock it in deep so you have no gap here. And you're going to bring it up nice and slow. As you come up, you're going to twist the dumbbell in, just ever so slightly. You can switch hands, switch feet. Incline bench concentration / preacher curl. It's a great workout to do at the end of your bicep routine. Builds a peak. Make sure you do high reps, proper form, lighter weight. You'll love the results. Next bicep exercise we're going to do is called the guillotine curl. That's the kind of name I made up. I don't know what anyone else calls it, but the reason why it's called that is because you're in a position that if it was an axe, your head's going to be chopped off. Anyway, enough on that. It works the peak of the bicep again. You work them at the end of the workout, and helps bring the height of it up. Usually, less weight, higher reps is kind of like your vision on doing these. So you put a bench up next to a pulley system. You're gonna grab the bar, and you'll bring it right down to your forehead right here. Good thing about this exercise, it's really hard to cheat. Unless you're going to bring your body off the bench, you really can't cheat this exercise at all. It's good also to pulse at the end here and just kind of really flex the bicep, really get that exertion out of the head of it.
It's a great exercise to finish up for biceps. Next bicep exercise is called 21s. It's an ender. You use it at the end of your workout. It's a good shaper. It's a 3-part exercise. It's going to go 7 count, 7 count, 7 count. So when you're doing this exercise, the first part is from bottom half to halfway and back down, times 7. The second part, you're going to bring it all the way up, and you're going to bring it down halfway and back up, times 7. The last part is a full range of motion 7 times. Hence, 7 times 3, 21. I have to use a straight bar with it because it encompasses both muscle groups, the long head and the short head of the bicep. So bring it up halfway, back down. 3. Now all the way up. The second part of it, halfway down. Last part of it, the full range of motion, all the way down. '21s. It's a good way to end your workout for biceps.
Abs. Probably abs and calves are the 2 muscle groups you can work every single day if you want. You can exhaust those muscles on a daily basis. It's probably the only muscle groups you can. And I'm a firm believer with abs, you have to do that. I work abs at the end of every workout. I do it for 15 to 20 minutes. And when I do them, I work the uppers, a few sets on the upper abs, a few sets for the lower abs, and a few sets for the obliques and sides. So every single workout, I'm going to hit every part of the abs. When I do them, I do high reps, body weight exercises where I'm doing sit-ups, leg lifts, twists, all body weight stuff. That's going to get you toned. And when I say high reps, I'm going, anywhere from like 50 to 100 reps per set. And I go right back into the next one at minimal time. So I'm talking 15, 20 minutes straight abs. Start off whatever level you want to start off with time-wise, but over time you're going to start building up as your abs get more stronger and more conditioned. To build a deep depth in between each ab, you need to add weight to your workout. It's the same exercises more or less, but the rep count now drops down lower. It'll drop down to like 15 to 30 reps and with weight on there. Also, you're going a lot slower. It's like a 2-second count up, you pause at the top, a 2-second count down, pause at the bottom. Whereas when you're doing just body weight, tone, high reps, it's more of a speed. It's more of an aerobic side to an anaerobic muscle. Now, you can do them with machines, you can do them hanging, you can do them on the floor. There's a variety of it. But whatever you do, make sure you keep switching up your program. You cannot do the same ab routine every single day for 2 reasons. 1, your body will get so bored mentally and physically. You'll just get drained. You won't want to do it anymore. It's not exciting. But 2, your body's a lot smarter than you think it is. When you do the same workout over and over again, the same routine, your body doesn't respond to it after a while. Yeah, it might get easier for you. You might be a little bit stronger, but the effects will not come because your body will find a way to make the same workout easier. That's your body's job. A lot of times when you're doing a curl, for example, you'll find your body starts cheating a little bit. The reason why it's cheating is not because you're weak-minded. It's because your body's made to do that. It's going to start incorporating other muscle groups and get this weight up. Your body doesn't know, okay, we're trying to work just the bicep here. So every other muscle relax, and we're just going to really focus on the bicep. No, you need to focus your form in order for your body to do that. But your body wants to make that lift as easy as possible for you. And it's going to do that by cheating, as we see it. But it's your body's way of getting the weight up as efficiently as possible. But if you shock the system, which is so imperative, whenever you go into the workout, you shock the system. You do a different routine every single time. You're forcing your body to adapt to a new situation. That adaptation your body's undergoing equals growth. It equals progress. It equals a more enhanced figure or whatever it may be your goal is in the gym.
What we're about to get into right now is a hanging leg raise. This exercise targets the lower abdomens, but only when done correctly. Far too often you'll see people on the side when they're doing this lifting the leg up to 90 degrees and not breaking that plane. It's imperative if you want to work your lower abdomens, you've got to break that plane and bring it all the way up to your chest. It's also going to work the whole core abdomen section by staying stable. You see a lot of people in these exercises in a swinging back and forth. To minimize that swing, you got to lock in your core muscles and keep you stable. Looks something like this. Start from a dead hang, keeping your body stable, knees all the way up to your chest. Now what you don't want to do is bring your legs up only to 90 degrees. This right here is working your hip flexors, only hip flexors, you're not working your abs. Wrong answer. This right here, use momentum to get yourself going. It's taken away from working your abs, taken away from what you're really targeting to do. A variation from the hanging leg raise is the hanging leg twist. It works the lower abs just like the hanging leg raise, but in addition it's going to work the side obliques. Same posture, keep your core tight, keep your momentum down, and you're going right to left and something like this. That's the hanging leg raise with a twist. A little more advanced than the hanging leg raise. To make it even more advanced, we're going to go up the ladder a little further and we're going to do something called ankles to the bar. Ankles to the bar is going to hit your whole abdomen, your upper and your lower, your obliques, in addition to your pride, because this exercise sucks. What we're about to get in now is called a straight arm pull down. It's a predominantly back exercise, but it's also used to encompass the serratus, which is your finger-like joints right on the side wall here. Now you can have an 8-pack or a 6-pack, whatever you want in the front, but if you don't have the sides activated also, it doesn't quite show them off as well. So here's the way to work the sides. Keeping your arms straight, you're going to come down to a 3/4 position and lock your form right here. Then you're going to bring the arms down right to your legs and back up, using the muscles in the lats to bring it down. Looks something like this. When you do it, you want your arms to extend above your head. Another variation to help the posture out is go to your knees instead of standing up. Looks something like this. next ab exercise is the incline sit-up. The incline sit-up works the upper 4 abdomens. When you get on it here, right now as I'm sitting here, my abs are not flexed. They're not holding me up. Gravity is just sitting me on here. I'm not working anything, therefore we'll never be in this position. We'll never be in this position either, because I'm laying down going to sleep. Right here, I'm flexed. This is the furthest I'll go down. This is the furthest I'll come up because I'm still flexed here. You're gonna keep your abs flexed the whole time throughout the whole range of motion. Your hand placement are gonna be on your shoulders, not on your neck. Far too often people start cranking their neck for more momentum when their abs start giving out. So we're gonna start here, we're gonna come back here, so nice and flexed. That's gonna be our start motion. Down and up, staying in that zone the whole time. Working the upper abs. The more of an incline you have, the harder they are. So if you're just starting out, start off flat. If you're more advanced, crank it up. The higher you are, the higher the resistance, the more depth you're going to get in your abs. Incline sit-up. This is the weighted incline sit-up. Same thing as the incline sit-up, but now with added weight. It helps build your depth in between your abs, give you a real deep valley. It's good for people that hate themselves and have a grudge against their ass because it's not easy, but the same principles apply. You're gonna come down here to where your abs are still flexed and where they're still flexed up top. Stay in that zone the whole time. The weight follows you the whole time. Here the weight is a resistance load. If I leave the weight up here and do the ab, I'm not doing anything. It's like I don't even have the weight. So keep the weight next to you and have fun. The weighted incline sit-up. A variation to the incline sit-up is a partner-assisted medicine ball toss. Beautiful thing about this is that it takes your mind off your abs. When your abs are really killing, it's a mind over matter thing. You don't really feel it. Just like when you're running up and down a court playing basketball, you don't know you're getting a cardio workout because you're having fun playing the game. So here we're gonna get a partner. Jason here's gonna help me out. I'm gonna toss the ball to him. He's gonna toss it back to me on my way down. Jason, grab that. It's the same principle, but that Jason's gonna toss me that ball over my head on my way down. When I get back down here, toss to me. When I get back down, I'm gonna throw it back to him on my way up. And it's gonna go in that motion. So here we go, do 10. That was so much fun, I didn't even know I was doing abs. Medicine ball partner assisted incline sit-ups. It's a good one, give it a shot. This next exercise is one of my bread and butter ab workouts. It's called an incline side twist. It works your obliques, your side walls, all 8 up front. It's just an overcompensating ass kicker. I swear by it. You're gonna get an incline bench here. You're gonna crank it up as high as you feel you can do it. You're gonna lean back to where your abs are nice and tight, almost 90 degrees, or you're perpendicular to the bench. You're gonna put your hands on your side here, and you're gonna rotate to your right, and then all the way to your left, and that's 1 count. That's 2, 3, and you're just gonna do it until you feel like a knife's driving right through your stomach. If you want to, you can adjust the elevation. You can go down a little bit deeper, it's a little bit harder. As you can tell, because I can't quite talk as well. But you get the point. One of my favorite, been doing it a long time, incline side twist. We're going to introduce the Roman chair to our ab routine. Roman chair is a little bit more of a beginner step as opposed to the hanging leg raise, but both fundamental principles are the same. It's working the lower abs and the obliques in our core conditioning. The reason why this is more of a beginner stage as opposed to the hanging leg raises is because you've got more stuff here to stabilize yourself. With hanging leg raises, all you have is your core to stabilize and keep the momentum out of it. Here, you can lock yourself in here. No matter if you're moving whatever way, you can control with your arms. So you can really focus on hitting the core. Same principles apply though. You'll bring your legs up, not to 90, but up to your chest. That's where you're really gonna activate the targeted muscle group. You're gonna do 10 in the front, and then I like to switch it up and do 5 on each side. Looks something like this. Now to the right. To the left. Roman chair. To get a good abdomen section, you gotta strip your body fat off. You have to be very lean, very in shape, or you're not gonna see your abs. In order to get there, it's a lot of cardio and a lot of body weighted exercises, high reps to keep you toned and stuff. But if what you're going for is if you already have a six-pack and you want to get the deep valley in between all your exercises, you have to do a crunch or an ab exercises with more than just your body weight. It's a weighted exercise. Here we're going to do a weighted crunch. This is going to build a depth in between your abs to give you that more of a muscular look. Looks something like this. When you're doing these, you want to be curling your body, not bending at the waist. Far too often people just sit here and they're just moving the waistline. You want to curl your body all the way in. Also with the rope, you pull the weight down, you lock it in, and it stays there. You don't keep on moving it as you go. So you lock it in, you curl, and doing the exercise. Prevent yourself from doing this and pulling it down. That just gives you momentum in your abs. It takes away from your muscle group. Another variation, instead of coming straight down, you can go to your right and left. We're going to further our ab training now with the ever popular Swiss ball. I like to superset a Swiss ball here, working the upper 4 to start, and then I switch the motion up to work the bottom 4, and I'll show you what that is in a second. The good thing about the Swiss ball is that in order to stay stable on the ball, you need to encompass your entire core strength in order to minimize the movement and get stable on top of an unstable surface. So even though we're concentrating on the upper 4 and then the bottom 4, all of the side walls, the obliques, everything is being encompassed in order to stabilize the motion. The first thing we're going to do is work the top 4. So we're going to sit down on it, and we're just going to walk back so our hips are still on top of the ball here. When we're doing these, we're going to hyperextend. So we're getting a good stretch in our abs, and then we're going to come up just so our shoulders are just off parallel to the ground, and then back down, and back up. I like to hold it at the top for a second. After I get a good burn, I'll flip it over and hit the bottom 4 now. I'm going to be in a push-up position more or less with my feet on the edge of the ball. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the ball up to my arms, like so, and back out. If you've never done these before, as soon as you try them, you know exactly what muscles they're working. And that's my superset with a Swiss ball. Hitting the tops and the bottoms, building up a sweat.
Abs, just like calves, are a muscle group that can be worked every day. They need minimal rest in between workouts. I'm a firm believer in working abs every single day. I work them at the end of each workout. Now some workouts are more strenuous than others, or maybe just one day you just don't have quite as much energy. So on a day you don't feel quite up to par, a good way to do abs at the end of your workout is right here on the floor. But you still want to hit all areas. You want to hit the top, the bottom, and the sides. So what I like to do is a triple superset on floor exercises. The first one being your standard crunch. It's going to work your upper abs. Then immediately going into a right-left crunch, which is going to work the side, right and left obliques. And then you finish it up, the triple superset, with a bicycle, legs fully extended, which is going to emphasize the lower part of your abs. It looks like this. Bring your legs up to a 90-degree angle. The higher you go, the harder it is. If you want to put it on the ground, you can. I suggest you leave them up. Put some more emphasis on the abs. Put your hands on your forehead. Don't put them behind your neck. If you put them behind your neck, you're going to tend to start wrenching your neck, which causes neck problems. You're going to bring yourself up so your shoulder blades are off the mat, and you lower yourself just so the shoulder blades touch, and you come right back up. It's a touch and go. You're going to do that till you start feeling some discomfort, which is a good thing. And you're going to switch into right-left crunches. Right arm, left knee. Working the left oblique here. Switching it up, left arm, right knee, working the right oblique. And we're going to finish up with bicycles. Key here, really extend that opposite leg. You're really feeling your lower abs. The speed in which you do them are imperative. The slower you go, the more efficient, the more you're going to get out of each rep. So go slow with it, and it's a great way to work your abs after a real strenuous day in the gym.
Greg Plitt. Hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. Hope you get a lot of good advice out of it. Important thing to realize that what works for me might not work for you. What works for someone else might not work for you either. You got to try everything, find the mold that fits the best. But in any event, Greg Plitt, helping you stay fit.
grow it this year, man. We're gonna make it all happen. Very Plitt, help me stay fit. Thanks for watching.